So we are now recording. We are in customers relations, chapter 4. This is week 2. Okay, that's fine. You can email me after class if you need to, TJ, no worries. I'll be looking for it. And we are going to look at the our assignment, our chapter 4, comprehension and cognitive learning. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to pull this up and then we can discuss it. You guys, let me pull that chat back up. Let me share my screen. And then I'll pull the chat up. So if you feel more comfortable discussing it over chat, I understand that as well. Excuse me. Where's my chat? We are. All right, so let's just kind of jump into it. Any questions or anything before we do that? Questions, comments, concerns? And all right, let's start off. Aman is a copywriter at an advertising firm. He knows that repeating message is the best way to increase consumer comprehension. Which of the following should he do to ensure greater recall of an intended message by consumers? He should include complex terminology in the advertisement. That sounds, just the word complex doesn't seem to be right, does it? He should present the information in intervals rather than in sequence. He should use standard fonts of unique fonts, or he should restrict movement in the advertisement. Anybody have any ideas which one you like for that? So it is B. He should present the information in intervals rather than in sequence. Yep, I like that. When you're in advertising, and even I found, even if you're like training employees, anything you do, number one, repetition. That's my old boss, my old mentor, Ron used to tell me, repetition is the best teacher. And so you would hear the same thing over. Didn't matter if you worked there 1 day, 1 week, 6 months, or 6 years, you would always hear the same thing, which was, this is how we do it. These are the rules. These are operating procedures. And you didn't veer off that. And that way you can retain it. So that is the best way to go. And that includes advertising. And you don't want to make, if you're, whatever you're doing, you don't want to make it too complicated. Okay, Alex is a brand manager at Trinity Inc., a software and technology manufacturer. He must keep various characteristics in mind when creating an image for the company's new range of cell phones. Which of the following should he do to generate support arguments for the products? Should he create advertisements that are highly incongruent to motivate deeper processing? Once again, that sounds a little complicated, doesn't it? He should avoid using figurative language to advertise products that are difficult to understand. He should use attractive and credible source to advertise a product, or he should use a controversial celebrity as a spokesperson for the product. Johnny Depp. I vote for Johnny Depp. Anyway, sorry. Let's go with figurative language. Anybody disagree? Well, they obviously do. There we go. Sorry. He should use attractive and credible source to advertise a product, which is, yeah, thank you, TJ. I flubbed that one pretty good. All right, so on number 3. The advertising agency for an insurance company develops a humorous ad. It buys airtime to run the ad 3 times each night for 2 weeks during prime time viewing. During the first week, the insurance company experienced increased sales. By the end of the second week, however, sales had leveled off. Which of the following concepts might explain this? Credibility, habituation, trustworthiness, or expectations? So, any idea? There we go. And that's a lot of problem in ads, because let's look at the actual. I do this. The action of habituating, or the condition of being habituated, that doesn't help. The diminishing of a psychological or emotional response to a frequently repeated stimulus. So it just becomes, the more you see it, the less interesting it becomes. You become bored. That's why, they do things the way a lot of the advertising companies, they hit you with advertising knowing it has a limited effect. They're going to get that bump. And that goes with any kind of advertisement. That goes with whether you're looking at political candidates on there, or whatever YouTube ads. I don't really know too many people anymore that actually watch primetime TV. Everything is web-based now. There are a few things, people may watch that may have ads included in them, but for the most part, if I'm watching Netflix or Amazon Prime or some of the other ones, you don't even get ads. Now, YouTube, you get plenty of ads. Freevee is one I've been using lately to watch classic Doctor Who. And they run it like live TV. So you just like turn it on the channel, turn on the show, and it just runs, and you get ads in between. But that it's all those stuff like that is becoming unfamiliar, I think, to a lot of people, because that's just not how it's done anymore. And they're able to target people, given the metadata that they're able to look at. You're able to target your audience. So TJ may not see the same ads as Brianna, who may not see the same ads as me, because we're not interested in the same thing. So they're targeting us, through our YouTube or through Facebook on the ads. So the rules are changing. But some of the things, though, once you see the same ad over and over and over again, it doesn't have the same effect. Representatives from an animal shelter went to local news to promote animal rescue and adoptions. At the end of the broadcast, the animal shelter asked for donations. As part of another marketing campaign to bring in donations, the animal shelter mailed out pledge cards to local residents, asking them to donate $10. The mail campaign was more successful. What theory does that demonstrate? Anybody? I got another one wrong. Yep, we both got that one wrong. Hey, I keep getting them wrong. Gosh. At this point, I'm just guessing. There we go. Construal level. Wow. English is hard. Is a theory in social psychology that the construal level theory is a serious theory. Gosh. Is a theory in social psychology that describes the relation between psychological distance and the extent in which people's, I like using Wikipedia, but we'll use it just for ease here. In which people's thinking is abstract or concrete. The general idea is the more distant an object is from the individual, the more abstract it will be thought of. So I guess what they're saying is getting a card in the mail is going to make you donate more than if you just see it on TV, because you're going to get, you don't have a physical thing in your hand, which I need to write this down. You've seen a thing. Well, maybe I'll donate to that when I get a chance later. And please, if you can, donate to your local humane society, because I hate to see puppies put down. And yeah, we'll put cats in there too, but I really hate to see puppies put down. Jada visited a photography exhibition and saw beautiful photographs, people's places, colors, and objects. These sights stayed in her mind for a very short time. They then began to fade quickly. Which of the following did Jada use to store the images that she saw in the exhibition? We'll leave that one alone. Oh no, I'm not. Excuse me. Sensory memory. So, and like I said, I always like to go in and we just look and see what that means. Sensory memories are stored for a few seconds at most. They come from 5 senses: hearing, touch, smell, taste, vision. They are stored only as long as a sense is being stimulated. They are reprocessed and associated with memory that may store in your short-term memory. Now, although they do say that smell is the strongest, one of the strongest when it comes to remembering things, that a smell can bring back memories from way back. So I know I haven't had that lately, but I remember having it in the past. You smell something that reminds you of something when you were a kid or something from high school, and that's always cool to have happen. Megan and her friends decide to play and ball as a person reading out a list of 5-digit numbers and others trying to repeat them accurately as possible. Which of the following is used by Megan and her friends to process the information? Hey, look, I got another one wrong. Oh, probably a echoic. Yep. I should read the answers before I actually look at it, huh? Okay, you're at echoic storage. And some people, like me, I remember numbers better than I remember names. Correct memory occurs when the information is received and held by the brain, specifically is stored in the primary auditory complex. Okay, okay, let's do it here. Echoic is the ultra short-term memory for things you hear. The brain maintains many types of memories. Echoic memory is part of sensory memory, storing information from the sounds you hear. So, and I guess that makes sense because the key word there is echo, just like sounds. So, and some of these, if you really just look at them and think about them, they kind of make sense to you. Like I said, I'll remember a phone number, which a lot of you younger people don't have to remember, never had to remember phone numbers, but I forget people's names all the time. I'll meet them and I'll completely forget them. And there's a term for that, which I don't remember, but that is horrible with names. That's why my wife's pretty good at it though. So when we see somebody and they're talking to us, I'll kind of look at her and she'll go, Danny. Okay, that's good. Hey, Danny, how you doing? I try to do it as they walk up, you know. Mariana has moved to a new neighborhood. She's looking for recommendations for a dentist, car repair shop, and hair salon. So she takes care of her teeth, her car, and her hair. I like her already. These purchases are very important to her. She has very specific requirements and expectations for each. She has learned a few options from friends and online sources. Which of the following factors affecting workbench memory will have the most positive impact on how well Mariana can recall the information she received? And I will say involvement. And we are correct. The more involved, the better you will remember. What it means to you as well. Pedro has to recite a poem at a social event in his school. In order to recite the poem without making any mistakes, he practices reciting it by repeating it several times a day. This process is known as rehearsal, right? Hopefully I don't, yep. I don't know if anybody's ever had to give a speech or do a poem or give something back, or memorize lines for a play. But that's the only way to do it, is over and over and over and over again, until sometimes you're so sick of it you don't want to do it anymore. Tomas is planning a trip to Europe. He has talked to a travel agent and has done research on several vacation websites to gather details on flights, hotels, and tourist sites. Although he feels like he has enough information to book his vacation, he continues to search websites for European travel tips that will make his trip more enjoyable. That is an example of, all right, guys, you have to help me out here. I got another one wrong. And I should have known better. So I should know better. Yep. Collaboration. Research indicates that the average consumer or household purchases a new vehicle every 8 years. Given this purchase cycle, Toyota aims to provide messaging content in ways that are stored in long-term memory of existing or potential customers. Which of the following approaches do you think would be the most effective in engaging consumers' long-term memory? Promoting the new line of Toyotas at the annual car show, hiring a controversial celebrity spokesperson to bring attention to the Toyota brand, consistent repetition of ads, social media, and targeted messaging, and developing a nostalgic ad campaign that highlights the joy and positive emotion experienced by generations of family while driving their Toyotas over the years. One who's good at that is, I believe it's Subaru, who does this right here. Are you a Subaru person, TJ? Commercials are pretty good. Another person who the really memorable commercials are Volkswagens as well. Volkswagen has a specific, how did they put it? I remember watching a deal on this. There's a very specific formula to Volkswagen commercials. And I think, I don't know if we talked about this in another class before, so I always bring up these old stories. Volkswagen actually has the largest car manufacturing plant in the world there in Germany. It is so large that it's a city. When you get onto the compound, there are buses that take you where you need to go. And it may drop you off on one side of where you got to work, have bicycles for people to ride from one end to the other. They make their own German sausages for the people's lunches. They have their own band. I mean, it's just, and Toyota also has a huge manufacturing plant. And the one I always remember Volkswagen because I watched the show on it, which was Volkswagen turns a car out of their manufacturing plant there every 12 seconds. And they do this, and I know this didn't have much to do with what we're talking about. It has, I think we covered operations management, which is they turn out a car every 12 seconds, and each car is individually made for an order. Okay, so every 12 seconds, that car has a place to go. They're not just turning out white Volkswagen vans or something, and they just turn out, 100 of them, pow. Each one of them may be a different color, different trim level, and go into a different place. It's kind of an amazing process of how we went from, Henry Ford and the Model T, who created the assembly line and did that, to now we can take a car that has over 10,000 parts and kick one out the back door every 12 seconds, and it can be specifically made for a customer without mistakes. So I kind of, I'm kind of a guy on that kind of stuff, making cars. My caveman brain, wanting to make fire and carry and create the wheel kind of kicks in at that point. Disney Plus streaming service offers a wide array of entertainment from children's classic movies to Pixar films to animation to action movies and others. And if you have Disney Plus, watch Moon Knight. Dope series. Many of the Disney movies are holiday favorites. Some of the movies have created timeless characters such as Mickey Mouse. Other Disney movies are recreated as theme rides at Walt Disney World theme park. All these concepts are an example of, are they nodes? Let's go with nodes. I am correct. Disney doesn't just do that. Universal does it. Disney does it. They expand everything out of their own brand. You know, that's why, you know, old men like me, we know Mishka, Mushka, Mickey Mouse, because, you know, they're so good at marketing that and moving it from one generation to the other that, you know, anybody from a 3-year-old to a 60-year-old can enjoy Mickey Mouse or Pixar or, you know, or Toy Story or whatever. They have a way of doing that, and that's really clever when it comes to advertising and making money. But and they did that with Harry Potter as well, which if you ever get to go to Orlando and go to Universal Studios and go to Harry Potter Land, it is excellent. It doesn't matter if you're 12 or 112. And maybe they'll pay me for saying that. A health and beauty products manufacturer is looking for ways to increase brand awareness. It decides to package some of its top sellers with some of its less well-known products for a lower price than if purchased individually. One package will consist of shampoo and conditioner. Another package will consist of deodorant and dental floss. That's a weird combination. The shampoo and conditioner package has strong sales, but the deodorant and dental floss has not. Which of the following concepts would explain this? We'll say the associative network. Okay, let's dig a little deeper into that because we have time. Lots of time. Okay, so associative network memory model is a conceptual representation that views memory as consisting of a set of nodes and interconnecting links where nodes represent stored information or concepts and links represent a strength of association between information and concepts. So we're talking about strength of concepts, all right? We're talking about what two things you put together? Shampoo and conditioner. That makes sense. When I think of deodorant, I don't automatically go to dental floss. You know, I mean, that's why you put together, I don't know, give me some help here if you can, deodorant and spray. Or, you know, toothbrush and dental floss, or dental floss and toothpaste. You know, you buy a certain toothpaste, you get dental floss, you know, that those things that kind of mesh together that you would normally be buying at the same time. Although I think there's a problem, I think, and I had this thought, and my wife and I actually talked about it at one time, a long time ago, that they need to change the sizes of shampoo and conditioner because I think you use more than one of the other. And so when they have two bottles the same size, you always run out of conditioner. Depending on who you are, you always run out of conditioner or shampoo first. And then you're left with no shampoo and a fourth of a bottle of conditioner. They should have change the price point, make the shampoo just a little bit larger. Jasper visits the supermarket to buy groceries. When he hits the snack, he sees a new snack by a popular snack manufacturer. In this given scenario, Jasper recognizes a product as a snack because he uses tags, product schema, prototypes, or exemplars. Once again, product schema. Let's see what they mean by that. Product schema is basically a structured data product which will publish with your search result. This helps search engines to offer more. That doesn't help. Well, we're going to have to go to the book for that one. All right, let's go to the book. Oh, well, that's just disappointing. We are on chapter 4. I'm going to flip this a little bit. We've gone through chunking and all that other stuff. Nodes and paths. There you go. Consumers' knowledge for a brand or product is contained in a schema. A schema is a portion of an associative network that represents a specific entity and therefore provides it with meaning. So you see Little Debbie, even though not be a oatmeal cream pie, you know that Little Debbie has snacks and you buy it. That makes a whole lot of sense. Sarah is loyal to Burbs, a brand of instant noodles. Because her mother used to make it for her when she was a child, has fond memories of her mother making her a bowl of Burbs noodles every day after school. The association developed by Sarah between her childhood and Burbs best exemplifies um, episodic memory. And finally, number 15, a fitness club encourages consumers to sign up for a membership and participate in its workout classes. This appeals to attractive potential customers based on the concept of, I believe it's priming, but let's see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong. I've been wrong a lot today. If it says social identity, I'm gonna disagree. Okay, social identity. I disagree, but let's see what they're talking about here. Now, a lot of these things are cyclical as well. If you're going to join a fitness center or a gym, most of that is done around New Year's, and then sometime around summer as well. People want to get in shape for summer. People want to get in shape because they have a New Year's resolution. Excuse me. An individual's social identity indicates who they are in terms of the groups in which they belong. Social identity groups are usually defined as some physical, social, or mental characteristic of an individual. So let me look in here in the book and see if we get a little better. Let's see here. Oh yeah, here I kind of got social identity. Don't really have a whole lot of social identity here. So let's look here if we can find it here. Social identity. The idea that one individual identity is defined as part of a social group in which one belongs. Um, Personal note, I think we have way too much of that. Okay. I think we have way too much of that. Western civilization decided that your individual identity was more important than your identity to a group, and I think we should always realize that we're individuals, and getting pulled into that group mentality is not always what we need. Okay, so I think we can get through one more. And I think we're into chapter 5 here, which will help. Emotions just driving consumer behavior. So, um, which is many times I think I'm guilty, and I know, kind of the society we live in is a lot of things we buy are out of emotion or some other need or some other want rather than a need. Um, we, where is I wish I'd have pulled that up because I thought about it earlier. Give me a second here. Stop sharing for a minute. Any questions so far, guys? I mean, you guys are awful quiet here. I got a video here that I always thought was hilarious. Wait till our ad is over. All right, so let me share this again. I'm Roger, and I have one question. Ready to become the best you could possibly be? The answer is no. No, you're not. Can you guys hear that? I call it the Horton phone brace. It's a fitness related status symbol that's smart in the sense that it talks to the internet. And you can use this doodad for everything, okay, theoretically, which makes it your fault if it doesn't change your life. Once you shackle yourself to this electric jewelry, you can track your steps, mileage, heart rate, and other data you never tracked before because who cares? No one cared before. Caring about it is a need I invest in this kind of stuff, you'll feel that sign is good. And as you sync your Horton phone bracelet to your much more boring pocket computer phone, use a new Horton X Phone Generation 8, otherwise go jumping away. Anyway, this doodad on a necklace for your wrist lets you use your phone without touching your phone by touching this instead. Once you've made it your phone's tiny friend, and for just a couple months' rent, you can back order this, receive one when we're done making enough of them, slap it on your wrist, and fumble at it with your big hammy screen tappers. And did I mention it's waterproof for the most part? You're welcome. For the most part, it's a business deal from any location, no matter how illogical. Stay notified of your familiar humans' activities while you're with different, more familiar humans. Run places. That's amazing. It does all that? It really is one. Whoa, I'll take two. Everybody wants one because our tech company's target market is humanity. And we can't sell people our phone twice. So we set out to build a not phone phone
That's how most people end up with these things. So why not one of your close familiar? Courage. Bit of flexity. That's meaningless, but it sounds like the top thing, doesn't it? Those words, and even more words, describe what they phone bracelet, because we say it. And the wearable health gizmo market is so new, no one can prove we're wrong yet. But we might be right. And you like stuff. Hell, you can't get enough of it. So grab yourself a Horton phone bracelet and start wearing something the past's idea of what a detective from the future would wear today. I'm still Roger, by the way.
I can even use this to catch Pokemon.
Sure, whatever that is. Go nuts.
I just caught a Pidgey.
Okay.
I wish my Blastoise was better against the grass types.
What nightmare future have I created?
Anyway, I understand now. I just thought it was hilarious because it kind of puts into, I don't know, mind if anybody can see. I'm also wearing a phone, not phone, tiny phone, not phone bracelet exactly. So, and that's welcome to America, where they sell us all sorts of stuff we don't need at a price we can't afford. So we can forget about it 6 months later and it'll just gather dust in a drawer somewhere. Well, let's look at some of this chapter 5 stuff. Let me get to chapter 5 here anyway in our little book thing. So we can kind of go along. And we've got about 20 minutes. So let's see if we can make this move kind of quick. I will do less talking and more answering. Because I think the people who show up should get a little bit of a head start. So showing up's half of it, right? What kind of phone bracelet do you have? Is it for an iPhone, TJ? Because if it's an if you're an iPhone person, you automatically fail the class and you have to take it with Bob or something. I'm just done. Okay, yeah, you're done. Just get out. We're done with you. Okay, Tanisha felt thirsty after and hot after a long walk on the beach on a sunny day. Oh, I feel sorry for her. Hey, she got lemonade to cool herself off because I also feel sorry for her for that. This is an example of, I have no idea. Let's look here. Homeostasis. She wants to cool off. That is correct. And homeostasis refers to the fact that the body naturally acts in a way to maintain a constant normal bloodstream. Shivering motivates consumers to wear coats to keep their blood from becoming too cold. When the blood sugar falls below to an acceptable state, the psychological reaction is hunger. So hey, and I like lemonade, so we'll let her have her lemonade. She's fine. ADC Inc. claims that the antivirus software helps block all computer viruses. This implies, excuse me, this implies that ADC Inc. appeals more to consumers with a blank focus. And let's say prevention. Oh, and it's going slow. It's slowing down on me again. But I am pretty sure I'm right on that one. Well, work, dang you, work. Let's reboot here. See what's going on. Always decided that was homeostasis. We decided this one was prevention. Ha. 3. Sophia loves socializing and getting together with her friends. She knows she is considered by her friends to be one of the most organized Okay. English and reading is hard, isn't it? She knows she's considered by her friends to be the one who organizes and plans any events, a role she takes great pride in. That would be my wife. She wants to set up a dinner to go out as a group. She is looking to select a restaurant that everyone will like, a place that is convenient, a menu option that offers a wide variety of choices for the entire group. What is motivating Sophia? So the opportunity to connect with her friends and feel good about her restaurant choice, fear of picking a bad place that is and not considering the various requirements for each person, restaurant promotion that highlights discounts on Tuesday evenings. Nope. Her ability to perform research, identify each person's needs, and select a good place. That would be D. No, I was wrong. And this shows I have absolutely no idea what motivates my wife to do anything. So I may need to, may need to figure that out, right? Because like I said, she's the one. I'm the guy that gets to you just point and click when it comes time to organizing something like that. You just give me a list and say, okay, I need you to pick this up, go do this, go do this, go do this, and I'll go do it. But if you want me to just plan it from scratch, nobody's having a good time. Rosa has been training for a half marathon for more than 6 months. She has improved her time and overall confidence in the past month and is looking forward to the reward of finishing the race and achieving her goal. I miss running. Running was fun. I say that every time we talk about running. I do. My wife gets tired. I know you miss running, so give it up. Her drive to experience something personally gratifying is an example of. Let's go here. And we can. Oh, we got Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Love Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I got it wrong again. I should have known hedonic motivation. Yes. Talk about hedonism, right? We skip past hierarchy of needs. Come on. Maybe when we need to look here. Well, let's just go here. So make sure I get proper. Okay, so hedonic motivation refers to the influence of a person's pleasure and pain receptors on their willingness to move towards a goal or away from a threat. Okay. And when we talk about, so and how much pain will you put up with to move towards your goal? Well, if anybody's ever ran, there can be a lot of pain. It can be a lot of pain. Pratik, hope I pronounced that right, is highly involved in the family car purchase. He does extensive research, looks at online reviews, and asks the opinions of both friends and work colleagues. Given Pratik's high level of involvement in this decision making, what is he likely to do? Is he going to be overwhelmed, achieve relatively high value, consider fewer alternatives, or make a simple choice decision? I'm going to say he's going to do the work and achieve a high value. Hey, look, I got one right tonight. And, you know, buying a car these days, I don't know if anybody's tried to buy a car. My daughter and son have both just recently made purchases. And part of the problem we're having now, which doesn't really reflect on this, is cars are in short supply. Good old fashioned supply and demand curve. The demand is still there. The supply has dwindled, so the pricing has gone through the roof. A car that 2 years ago you would have paid $22,000 for, my daughter paid $27,500. Another one, my son, he just bought one, something 2 years ago you'd have paid $7,000 for, is he paid $9,000 for. And so it's, and we were talking about this a little bit in the human resources class. Yeah, I know. Well, TJ, here's a story. Story time. When we're looking for cars, I bought my little Focus hatchback in December of 2020 when I left drilling. Didn't need a 3/4 ton pickup, didn't need that huge lease and that huge payment. So, and I've been bugging my wife for years. I want a hatchback, I want a hatchback, I want a hatchback. And she says they're ugly and they're stupid. You don't want one. I said I do. Finally, time came. She says, just go get whatever you want. So I show up in this bright green Ford Focus hatchback. I love the car, by the way. And December 2020, I did get a really good deal on it, but I paid $11,250 for it. It's a 2018 model. It was 2 years old. It was a titanium, and it had 50,000 miles, 55,000 miles, I think, on it. And I paid $11,250. When we were out looking for cars, one of the salesmen said he would give me $15,000 for my car right now. And I said, it's 2 years older. It's got another 20,000 miles on it. How does that happen? And he said he would put an $18,000 price tag on it and it would be gone within 2 to 3 days. That is what the car market does now. So if you're looking for a car, it is tough, 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 tough. Just as I, yeah, I know. And but the other question was, well, if I give me $15,000 for my car, what can I replace it with? Nothing as nice as I have now. So it is insane. Where's this kitchen? Well, no, yeah, that's exactly what it was. No, you may not have my car. Plus, it's super clean, so everybody sees it coming 10 miles down the road. Marissa's kitchen sink gets clogged very frequently. Well, stop putting stuff you're not supposed to put in the sink. She asks her friends for suggestions to solve the problem. Stop putting stuff that's not supposed to go in the sink. Her friends suggest an expensive but long-term solution, a garbage disposal unit that can be installed under the sink. She then does an online search to learn more about different types of disposal units. Marissa's interest in disposal units, an example of what type of involvement. And it's not emotional. Shopping. Let's see if it's enduring. We're just take a guess here. No, and I am wrong. Situational. There we go. And now the other thing, good job. The other thing is, do not try to stick potato peels in a garbage disposal, because if you do that, like some guy I know that did it at his daughter's house like 3 months ago, you have to take the whole thing apart and clean it all out because it didn't like the potato peels. It will garbage disposal will get rid of a lot of things, but potato peels was too much for it. Number 7, Ashley has been collecting a vintage silverware for a decade. She is an active member of many silverware collectors forums and is in search of unique pieces. She regularly attends estate sales held across various states. In the given scenario, Ashley exhibits what type of involvement? We'll go with enduring again since I just can't seem to get anything right. There we go. You know, they used to make these plates back in like the 50s and 60s that had a little bit of radioactivity to them. And I've been thinking about collecting those just because it sounds cool to have radioactive plates hanging around the house. John and Leah are good friends. They both take tennis lessons from the same instructor. John feels that his game is as good as Leah's. However, the instructor offers Leah more opportunities to play at competitive tournaments. Finds this unfair and he feels jealous of Leah and angry with the instructor. In the context of cognitive appraisal theory, John has made up what type of appraisal? And that would be equity. Now, I don't know if John has thought about it, but maybe John should just get good. I don't know. Yep. And equity is a touchy thing. Okay. It's not the same as equality. It sounds the same, but equality is giving everyone the same opportunity. You have the same coach, you have the same, practice facilities, you have the same everything. And then what happens after that is based on you. What's left over will be you. Equity kind of is, hey, even though you're not as good, we're just gonna push you through and let you go to these tournaments as well. That doesn't really work out well in any situation. It usually turns out bleak. Elena has been recently promoted and she's very happy with the trajectory of her career. She wants to celebrate her joy by buying a new cell phone. Think you need a thing. The guy said it. Roger said you need the latest thing. And if you don't have his phone, then go away. She has been loyal to the particular brand of cell phones, but on an impulse, she decides to try a newly launched brand. Elena's decision example of a consumer effect. Well, maybe I'm just not on it tonight. There we go. A mood congruent judgment. Let's look at that. Let's get a little deeper into that. Here we go. Mood congruent judgment. The evaluation in which the value of a target is influenced in a consistent way by one's mood. So you just decide that one day you want to get away from the old nasty iPhones and go to a solid, dependable, well-made Android. TJ. Chaz is the head of the marketing department. Marketing research department is evaluating a set of possible advertising campaigns. The product manager is considering. That was all one sentence. I made it sound like three. Part of the assessment is to determine how respondents self-report the extent of which they feel about many emotional adjectives: happy, sad, fearful, excited, and others. Chaz is employing what approach or scenario? Well, we're going to say it has to do with emotions, so let's go with emotions. Nope. There we go. Positive effect, negative effect scale. All right. We don't have a whole lot on that, so we'll move on because I want to get through these in the next. Oh, we're not going to get through all of them, but we'll get through. This will help you guys a little bit. Greta's friends have told her about a new brand of cosmetics. She begins to pay attention to advertising. She says she displays in a retail shop. She does some online shopping or sees related social media information in her smartphone. Greta is viewing related information to these multiple channels. Example of what? The omni-channel. Okay, and that's how that works. Is once again to go back to cars is, of course, I'd wanted a certain kind of car for a while, but until you actually make the decision to buy one, or it's brought to your attention, or you actually buy one, then you start to notice there's all sorts of them around, but not green ones. Hey guys, it is 8:28. We can call this a night. If you want to hold off after we finish here, I'm going to go ahead and shut the recording off for just a moment. Brianna, do you have any questions or concerns?